afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and we are syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. We're going to be making a really special announcement coming up sometime next week, and we're really excited about the growth of this show and of this station. But thank you so much for watching. We're going to talk about real estate agents today. Some of you are thinking about selling. Do I do it now? What do I need to wait? I mean, what's the deal on that? But one of the most important things is having the right real estate agent. I mean, that's key. I found this article, and it's on nerdwallet.com. That's nerdwallet.com, like me, a nerd. But anyway, there's some really good advice here. It's how to find the right real estate agent for you. Absolutely. So first of all, they tell you to interview at least three prospective agents and choose one who will represent your interests throughout the entire process. Let me tell you about a real estate agent I used to know back in Anniston, Alabama. Gladys Dethridge is her name, and she was my real estate agent. And so I'm looking for a house. I'm searching. I was a newly divorcee, and so it was my son and me. I wanted a big house, but I needed something that could be, I told her I needed a Taj Mahal wannabe. You know what? She actually listened to me. She has two ears, so she was listening to every single word I said. With that being said, she called me and said, okay, I'm going to show you a house. This is based on what I think I heard you say that you were looking for in a home. Can't afford a big one right now, recently divorced, and so we're just going to look and see if this is what you're looking for. But now you're going to have to use your imagination when you walk in. So she takes me to this house. It was built in 1889. And I'm going to tell you what, I fell in love with it. She opened the door. Wallpaper was falling down. The whole works. I mean, it looked horrid, like almost one of those crime scenes or whatever. But it was exactly what I was looking for. And she said, "Are you sure?" I said, "This is the one I want." And she said, "You've only looked at the foyer." And I said, "This is it." And so we was walking around, and she was, and basically she had already done her research to make sure that the house is in good standing, and it was. And I said, "Look, it's cosmetic stuff. This is stuff I can do. I can paint, I can take down wallpaper, I can do all this stuff." And I'm going to tell you what, it was an awesome buy. I mean, everything about that house worked for me. You know why? Because she listened. And I've dealt with agents before that would take you to every place in town, and it would be nothing you were looking for. It would be something way above your budget. Same deal in North Carolina. Had an awesome realtor there. She takes me to three places, and she said, "The third one I'm going to take you to, I think, is the one you're going to want." And because she listened to me as well. Listening is a big portion of your realtor. If they're doing all the talking, they're not listening to a word you are saying. So anyway, she takes me to the first, and I'm like, I like it, but. And then she takes me to the second one, and I said, "I like it, but." And then we drive up, and I knew when we drove up that was the one. And she started smiling, and I said, "You were actually listening to me." And she said, "Of course I was. I thought this would be the one, but I wanted to take you to three." And I said, "You done your job." Absolutely. So we walk through, get a good price on it, and everything. The rest of it's history. So hiring a professional real estate agent when buying or selling a home can help you make smart decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Isn't that the truth? But not just any agent is going to fit that bill. So here's how to choose the right real estate agent for you. Now let's get into the basics of real estate, okay? Before you start looking, it's helpful to know what to expect from an agent and some of the terminology that you'll encounter. So what does a real estate agent do? So let's talk about this. Real estate agents help people buy and sell homes. It's that in a nutshell. Agents educate their clients about current market conditions. They got to know that. Current market conditions, guide them through each step of the process, and make referrals to other professionals, such as home inspectors and real estate attorneys. Their particular titles depend on who they're representing in a real estate transaction. So there are two, okay? So let's talk about the two ones. The first one is a buyer's agent. This helps buyers find and shop listed homes, make competitive offers, and negotiate with the sellers. Now, a listing agent helps sellers price, list, and market their homes and negotiate with buyers. In some cases, an agent can actually real estate represent both sides in a single transaction, but it's best to have someone who's solely in your corner, okay? Now, realtor versus real estate agent. I didn't know this. There's two different meanings here. Not every real estate agent is a realtor. Realtors are licensed agents who are members of the National Association of Realtors. Members pledge to abide by the association's standard and code of ethics. All real estate agents must be licensed in the states where they work and abide by national and state laws. License requires agents to complete a certain amount of coursework, and you've got to pass an exam. Check with your state's real estate commission website to find out a particular agent and how they are licensed. And it's all by the state. So wherever you live, you're going to be protected, okay? Difference between a real estate agent and a broker. All right, so let's talk about this for a minute. A real estate broker has gone a step beyond the agent level with additional training to get a real estate broker license. Now, like agents, brokers must complete state-required coursework, and they must pass an exam to get licensed. A broker can oversee other real estate agents, work under a managing broker, or operate independently, okay? Now, how to find and interview real estate agents. Now, you're hiring someone, so you have to remember it this way, okay? If they're doing all the talking, I'd be wary of that one, okay? Now, ask friends and colleagues for referrals to find several prospective agents. Look up the agents' websites and online profiles. Read about their specialties and experience, and check out customer reviews. Now, let's mention this with a customer's review. You cannot please every single soul on earth. There's no way. But if you're seeing a lot of complaints, there's an issue there. I'd shy away from that one. Now, choose at least 3 agents to interview and dig into specifics about how they would work with you. What buyers and sellers should real estate agents? What should you ask a real estate agent? Okay, there are key things to find out whether you're buying or selling a home. Will the agent represent my interest? Number 1, you must assume that any real estate agent you choose will represent only your interest. But in some cases, real estate agents aren't legally required to represent solely the buyer or the seller in a transaction. For example, a dual agent represents both the buyer and the seller in the same deal. And a transactional agent works with both sides but has no responsibility to either. Okay, understanding the nature of the agent's role when working with you is critical. As prospective agents, if they will represent only your interest through the entire process. That's what I would do. Only your interest, okay? And you want a written form that discloses the relationship, advises the Consumer Federation of America. Now, what experience and training does an agent have? How long has the agent been working with clients? And what training or recognition does the agent have? Look for an agent with a good track record of serving clients like you. Okay, ask for referrals. Will the agent or assistants work with me? That's important too. Agents sometimes have assistants working for them on a team. Will you work more than with the agent or with the assistants? An efficient team can serve your needs well, but make sure you have enough direct access to the agent. Now, how much will the agent be paid? Usually the seller pays the real estate commission, which the listing agent splits with the buyer's agent. A typical real estate commission is 5 to 6% of the sales price. Now, as the seller, you may be able to negotiate a lower rate, particularly for a high-priced property, according to the Consumer Federation of America. So a lot of people don't know that. You can negotiate that. As the buyer, you ask for a rebate of a portion of the buyer agent's commission. Agents may not be willing to budge on the commission, but you never know until you ask, okay? So it's important to make sure you ask. Okay, let's see. Were recent clients satisfied? That's another key question. Request references and talk to clients who worked with this agent in the last year. Were they satisfied with the agent's work that went smoothly? What didn't go well? There's always going to be something that doesn't go well, but find out what it was, okay? How did the agent deal with challenges? Conversations with recent clients will give clues as to whether the agent is a good fit for you. Finding a real estate agent tips for buyers. Here are some things to think about when choosing an agent to help you buy a home. What challenges will I face as a buyer in today's market? Now, a good agent will set realistic expectations by explaining the availability of listed homes and the level of competition you'll face with other buyers. Okay, and then this one is also key. How will you help me find listed homes in my price range? Okay, with today's financial market, you really need to stay within your budget. Don't extend it. It's not worth it. Ask for examples of how the agent has recently helped other buyers similar to you. This will give a sense of how well the agent will serve your needs. Okay, how will you help me make competitive offers and negotiate with sellers? Look for an agent who will help you stay grounded within your budget and your goals. Extremely important there, fellas. Okay, let's go into a commercial break. Can you believe half the show is already over? My goodness. We'll be right back in just a minute. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. at Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020. We're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Okay, we are back. We're talking about real estate agents. Wants to ask how to find the perfect real estate agent. I've had two that were just, I'm telling you, perfect. Mrs. Gladys Dethridge, she's passed away, God rest her soul. She was an awesome, awesome lady. Had been in real estate business a very long time. Was a great lady, and I'll tell you what she does. And I learned this just from my career in owning a business and being in sales with a company. So she said, what I'll do, if it's okay with you, she said, now that I have your home listed, or now that you've bought a home from me, she said, so now that you've bought from me, she said, I'll always go around to at least 10 neighbors and leave them my card. And I said, well, you think 10 people are going to buy? And she said, sale or whatever. And she said, no. She said, I'm not expecting that at all. She said, they are going to know people. Truly. Yeah, think about that. She said, it's the old-fashioned way, but it still works. She said, they're going to know people who are going to buy real estate or somebody who wants to sell their home. And that's how she stayed. So it was references that she had from folks that she had sold and bought houses from. And then also just the way she did business. It was on the level. Absolutely. Okay. So finding a real estate agent tip for sellers. Now you want to sell your home. Let's talk about that. Here's some things to think about when choosing an agent to help you sell a home. What are the comparable listings in my area? You need to know that. An agent should provide a comparative market analysis showing homes similar to yours and that were sold in the last 6 months. Now, what do you think my home is worth and why? An agent who recommends the highest price isn't always the best choice. Choose an agent who backs up the recommendation with the market knowledge. And you can ask a few key questions. We're going to get you to understand that in just a minute. What should I do to improve my home? You may need to fix things up to sell your home. Depending on the local real estate market, listen for solid reasons about your home needs and the return on investment for making those improvements. And I'll have to tell you this. I love red. I would have a red room in every room of the house, but I did learn from the past 2 real estate agents that I used, and that was Gladys, and then the one I used also in North Carolina, everything needs to be neutral. Don't have a red room. It's going to turn some people off. Don't do red, don't do purple, do your light grays, do your blues, do your beiges, that kind of thing when you're selling your home, because you want that person to imagine their self living in your home. So those were some strategies. Another strategy was to, you got your pictures, and, I like to collect cat figurines and stuff like that. Well, that could be a turnoff for somebody else because they're not seeing what that house is going to look like with them in it. They're seeing you in the house. So that was some excellent advice. So how will you market my home? Agents will likely suggest you putting your home on the multiple listing service and real estate websites such as Zillow. Get details about other promotional tools the agent will use, such as photos, video tours, and advertising. The level of marketing required to sell a home depends on the market. Less marketing may be required when there are more buyers than homes for sale. Now, how to choose a real estate agent. What you want to do is compare agents' experience and their approaches, as well as their ability to establish rapport. Is this someone you'll feel comfortable working with? Choose a competent agent with a working style that clicks with yours. I mean, that's the big deal right there. And again, if they're doing all the talking and they're not listening to you, they're not going to sell. First of all, they're not going to find the home you're looking for because they're not listening. And so anyway, let's finish this out with tips for first-time home buyers. Some of you are getting married, and this is going to be your first home, and you're seeing stars and that kind of thing. But let me go ahead and give you some tips. Let's talk about learning strategies for saving down payment, applying a mortgage, shopping for a house, and more. Okay, like any big project, a successful home buying experience is all about getting the details right from the start to the finish. These are tips for first-time home buyers. They'll help you negotiate and navigate the process, save money, and close the deal. We organize them into 4 categories. Now, again, this comes from the website nerdwallet.com. That's my kind of website, nerdwallet.com. Okay, so there are 4 categories. Okay, now, preparing to buy tips. And then we're going to give you tips on the mortgage selection tips, home shopping tips, and home purchasing tips. Now, preparing to buy tips. Okay, start saving early. Okay, you're going to buy. Okay, here are the main costs to consider when saving for a home. Number 1 is the down payment. Okay, the more you can pay down, the less interest you're going to wind up paying. Your down payment requirement will depend on the type of mortgage you choose and the lender. Some conventional loans aimed at first-time homebuyers with excellent credit require as little as 3% down, but even a small down payment can be challenging to save. For example, 3% down on a $300,000 home is $9,000. Now, there are all kinds of down payment calculators to help you decide what you want to do and on your goal, and setting up automatic transfers from checkings to savings to get started. You've got to consider the closing cost. Now, these are the fees and expenses you pay to finalize your mortgage, and they typically range from 2 to 6% of the loan value, or the loan amount, I might say. Okay, your closing cost on a $240,000 loan could be between $4,800 and $14,400. That's additional money you'd have to pay on top of your down payment in a buyer's market. You can often ask the seller to pay a portion of the closing cost. You can even save on some expenses such as home inspections by shopping around. Move-in expenses. You'll need some cash after the home purchase to get some money aside for immediate home repairs. You know there's going to be some. Upgrades and furnishings. Now, number 2, let's decide how much home you can afford. Okay, you're not going to move into the house your parents live in if they're living in that $3,000 and $4,000 square foot home. Start smaller and build up. Okay. All right, figure out how much you can save to spend or safely spend on a house before starting to shop. There is on nerdwallet.com, they do have a home affordability calculator that can help with setting a price range based on your income, debt, down payment, credit score, and where you plan to live. Okay, check and strengthen your credit. Now, your credit score will determine whether you qualify for a mortgage and affect the interest rate lenders will offer. Having a higher score, you need to be working on that like immediately. So having a higher score will generally get you a lower interest rate. So take steps to strengthen your credit. And there's another link you can click, and it's credit score to buy a house. Now, here are the tips. Get free copies of your credit report from each of the 3 credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And despite any errors that could affect your score. Now, this is how you're going to find out if somebody has been using your social security number and they've been trying to get into your credit. Okay, this is how you can find that out. Pay all your bills on time. Keep credit card balances as low as possible. Keep current credit cards open. Closing a card will increase the portion of available credit you use, which can lower the score. All these things make a play in it. Track your credit score. Now, NerdWallet gives a free credit score that updates weekly. Again, that's nerdwallet.com, nerdwallet.com. Now, mortgage selection tips. Let's talk about this. Explore mortgage options. You don't have to go to the first person that you talk. No, I want you to remember this, okay? First of all, you talk to 3 different companies, so be careful out there. Talk to 3 different companies, and that affects your credit score, okay? Because everybody's digging in there, and you're checking your credit. Each time your credit is checked. And ask this before don't let them do the credit check until you're just about ready to do something. You need to kind of date the mortgage or the bank company first, okay? A variety of mortgages are available with varying down payment and eligibility requirements. Here are the main categories. Okay, conventional mortgages are not guaranteed by the government. Some conventional loans targeted at first-time buyers require as little as 3% down. FHA loans are insured by the Federal Housing Administration and allow down payments as low as 3.5%. Now, the USDA loans are guaranteed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. They're for rural home buyers and usually require no down payment. VA loans are guaranteed by the Department of Veteran Affairs. They're for current and veteran military service members and usually require no down payment. You also have options when it comes to the mortgage term. Most buyers opt for the 30-year fixed rate mortgage, which is paid off in 30 years and has an interest rate that stays the same. Now, a 15-year loan typically has a lower interest rate than a 30-year mortgage, but the mortgage payments, the monthly payments, are higher. When interest rates are increasing, you might consider an adjustable rate mortgage, or an ARM. ARM rates are often lower than fixed rates, enabling you to buy a more expensive home for the same monthly amount. But they also increase or decrease over time, so it's a gamble. In today's market, I'd be a little bit leery, okay? Be careful. Okay, number 6, research first-time home buyer assistant programs. Many states and some cities and countries offer first-time home buyer programs, which often combine low interest rate mortgages with down payment assistance and closing cost assistance. Now, tax credits are also available through some first-time home buyer programs. Number 6, compare mortgage rates and fees. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau recommends requesting loan estimates for the same type of mortgage from multiple lenders to compare the costs, including interest rates and possible fees that are out there that you may not know about. Lenders may offer the opportunity to buy discount points, which are fees and borrower pays up front to lower the interest rate. Now, buying points can make sense if you have the money on hand and plan to stay in the home for a long time. That's something else to consider. Are you using this home as a step up for the next one in a few years? You need to approach your realtor. A knowledgeable real estate agent will have an answer for you. Use discount points calculator to decide. And again, that's in the nerdwallet.com. Get a pre-approval letter. A mortgage pre-approval is a lender's offer to loan you a certain amount under specific terms. Having a pre-approval letter shows home sellers and real estate agents that you're a serious buyer and can give you an edge over home shoppers who haven't taken this step yet. Apply for pre-approval when you're ready to start home shopping. A lender will pull your credit and review documents to verify your income, assets, and debt. Applying for a pre-approval from more than one lender to shop rates shouldn't hurt your credit score as long as you apply for them within a limited time frame, such as like 30 days. That's going to help you out. Okay, home shopping tips. Make sure you choose a realtor, a real estate agent very carefully. Again, I had a wonderful experience when we bought our home, or I bought my home in Oxford, Alabama. That was a good one. And then also when we bought our home in North Carolina and sold our home in North Carolina. So all of those were really, really wonderful experiences. My name is Donna Feazell. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, Channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, which is syndicated, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. I hope you have a super duper awesome blessed day. I can't wait to see you again. You take care.